Hello, guys, and welcome to another day in paradise, another day in quarantine. And today I want to talk about COVID-19 again. I want to talk about COVID-19 and 5G. And I know 5G has been a divisive issue on its own merit for the last 2 years, but since the onset of the virus, suspicions have gone through the roof, with rumours that the virus is a mere smokescreen, designed primarily to cover up the health implications of the international implementation of the 5G network. Now, I've had some pretty good conversations with some of you, and give me a second. And I've gone through the links that I've been sent, which are really good, to be honest with you. They answer some questions that I've been asking myself. And at first glance, the evidence to support this theory is quite compelling. Now, I did more research, and after the research I've done, I've been trying to actually put my thoughts on this particular subject onto paper. And then I saw a post on IG from a lady that I follow, that actually I know that some of you guys follow. Her name is Katya Suleiman. Give me a second. Oh goodness, that's great. Her name is Katya Suleiman, and yeah, like I said, some of you guys already follow her. And if you don't already, I would strongly suggest you do. She's a pro-Palestinian account, and it's a pretty good profile to follow. Keeps me up to date with what's happening in Palestine. So, anyway, in her post, she puts it really eloquently, the reasons why she believes that the COVID 5G theory is nothing more than a hoax. So what I will try to do, without being a scientist and without being a communications expert or a virologist, I will try and put it into more practical terms by using common knowledge, why I stand by what actually Katya says, and her suspicions of this being fictitious. So where do I start? So what theories are out there at this present moment? So we have this depopulation theory that Bill Gates is pushing for chipping all the people that have been vaccinated so that control can be maintained through the application of the virus and the vaccines. And I must say, first of all, that I do believe in the depopulation agenda. I do believe that Bill Gates has something to do with it, but what I don't believe is that 5G is being used in conjunction with COVID-19 to further the depopulation agenda. I do believe that it's being used, that this theory has been, in particular, has been used to poison people's minds into thinking that the depopulation agenda is deeper than what it actually is, and I think it's being used to further discredit the real depopulation agenda. After all, this is the favoured tactic used by the 1% to keep the 99% questioning and blaming each other. So remember that. Another theory that's been thrown around is that 5G will fry us with cancer-causing electromagnetic waves of radiation. And the problem with that theory is that we live in a society where we are constantly being showered with these waves from a whole host of different systems, both in-house and outdoors, some of them even more powerful than 5G, believe it or not. We benefit from them greatly. It's likely that you're using some sort of mobile device and you're watching this using 4G or 3G or Wi-Fi, which is exactly the same type of radiation, radio waves, electromagnetic waves that you would get from 5G. Now, 5G has a much shorter wavelength. I don't want to get too technical into this because, like I said, I'm not a communication specialist, but it has a much shorter wavelength. So unless you're standing 2 meters from one of those, pylons, from one of these 5G masts, unless you're standing 2 meters from the mast, it's not going to cause you any damage. I mean, I know this because we live in a world that we've been getting 4G radiation for how long now? I see people dying from it. Now, as a disclaimer as well, I would say that don't ever stand 2 meters from an operational 3G, 4G or 5G mast, because that will fry you. It will kill you. Not instantly, but it will kill you. It is extremely dangerous. This is the reason why you're seeing some of these masts next to trees, and the trees are burnt on the side, because if they're really close, that's the damage it will do. And lastly, and I think this is a big one as well, I think the Chinese state-owned company Huawei, who everybody knows, has won a lot of the majority of the contracts around the world to build the 5G infrastructure for governments and major industries. Now, obviously, the Americans don't like that. I think they've actually put into some sort of legislation to stop them from doing it in the United States of America. And I think for good reason as well. Something tells me that if America had won these 5G contracts, that we wouldn't be having this conversation today. And I hate blaming America for everything, but something tells me that someone is artificially spurring this rumor on. And who would be best? Who is going to benefit from boosting these types of rumors around? Well, I'll let you answer that question. So there's my take on the issue. In general, I'd like to say that, guys, be careful out there. You're at home, you're alone, or some of you are alone. You're sitting there with all this information in front of you. You have the internet pumping out propaganda, and you have to be extremely selective. You have to be extremely careful with the information that you are accepting into your mind, because there are sociopaths that have their own agenda. In fact, I'll be making another video actually based on this, and it's more based roughly around certain accounts. So I'm going to be calling out certain accounts in my next video, so stay tuned to that one. So yeah, be careful out there. Don't believe everything that social media has to tell you. And I would say this as well. With this theory, with this particular theory, it's better that you accept the information but do something to actually avoid it. Like I said before, because there isn't going to be much you're going to need that you can do to change it. But, I wouldn't say run away from it, but do your best to avoid what you actually know. To use the knowledge that you have gained to make your life a lot more safer, and the life of your loved ones a lot more safer too. So anyway, that's all I got to say on this one. If you do have anything to say, any comments or any questions, please don't hesitate to leave it in the comments section, and I'll endeavour to get back to you. But for now, boy, enjoy this beautiful sunny day on my tiny quarantined balcony. Yeah, have a good one. Ta-ra a bit.